What's up, guys? So, a long time ago, a while back, you guys sent me some questions for myself and for my brother. I told my brother if he would do this with me, the Q&A that I've been telling you guys about. I told both of them, and they're both chicken. They won't do it. They're just like, oh, do it. I guess, I don't know. I don't know why they don't want to do it. I guess they're too chicken to be in front of a camera or something, or maybe just because I'm asking them. I'm gonna keep trying to see if one of them will finally give, but if not, then I'll make a later video where I answer the questions, you know, kind of telling you what my brother would think and all that. They're so stupid. I don't know why they never, like, help me with anything when it comes to this. They're just like, there were some questions that I left unanswered that were directed to me. I answered a few of them one day when I was sick, so I'm going to answer a few more. What made you decide to make YouTube videos? Two people asked something like this, similar, so without going into too much detail, what pretty much made me want to get into making YouTube videos was I was watching a lot of vloggers for, I think, in the beginning of last year. I never really got into watching vloggers on YouTube, and then when I started with Charlie is So Cool, like, and I was like, hey, this is pretty cool, like, I really like this, like, I can do this looks like fun, and I was just like, I have a lot to talk about, and it's just that was really what made me want to do it, that it looked like fun, and I felt like I had something to share. I started my first channel, The Gone with MD83, and I just filmed randomness, and then I was like, I have a lot to talk about when it comes to games. Maybe I'll make another channel that's specially, you know, for that. And that's how I made this channel. That's it. What do you want to see happen in the future of the Mass Effect series? I just don't want to see it end, really. I think the Mass Effect series has a lot of potential. A lot of people say that once the Mass Effect 3 is over, it's going to be like, Emmy is just going to die, because Mass Effect is the Commander Shepard story. And as much as that is true, I just see the Mass Effect universe having so much more potential, because it's such a huge story. It's such a huge universe that, I mean, I think you guys could see in a lot of my videos and a lot of my Mass Effect talks that there's so much more to Mass Effect than just what you see in the games. I have a lot of things that I would love to see in the future when it comes to Mass Effect. Some of them are being able to explore other galaxies, being able to play the game like as another race, like to experience the game as another race, learning more about the world, like a lot of people are talking about previous stories that are already in the universe, like, say, the First Contact War, like going back to the First Contact War. But I think I would like, I mean, as much as that would be awesome, I would like to play something completely new, like a new storyline that we've never heard about. Kind of like, you know, this is what's happening in this area at this specific time. Kind of like that. Not so much us visiting already established storylines, you know. That would be cool, but I would prefer something that is new, something that's fresh, something that you don't know what's going to happen. Because if we were to play a game like, say, the First Contact War, you already know how it ends. You already know what's going to happen. So I would like to see a new story that is you really don't know what to expect from it. What's your game plans going into Mass Effect 3? Are you planning on any specific strategies? I don't think I am. I'm going into Mass Effect 3 trying to go into it with an open mind, kind of. That's why I think I'm trying to really prevent myself from listening or watching spoilers, because I really want to go in there without expecting a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff I already, you know, some things I already know, and I wish I didn't, but I do. So I kind of want to go in there just with a fresh mind and be completely surprised with everything, and have to make the decisions right then and there due to the way that I feel in that moment, and not because I've been planning it. I think the only game I ever went into already having a strategy, already kind of knowing how I was going to play the game, was Dragon Age Origins. That was such a big game that I read through the strategy guide, like through the classes, not the missions or anything, but I wanted to get a good sense of the classes and a good sense of what they were all like and how they were going to affect later on the subclasses and what was more appealing for me. That I did strategize for before I played the game. But with Mass Effect, since I'm going to be importing a character that's already made, I really am. I don't have any specific strategies really. You said you haven't seen a good vampire werewolf movie. I suggest The Wolfman. It's a decent film with good actors compared to other works. This is The Wolfman, the one that came out in 2010. I believe it's the one with, what's his name? Benicio del Toro. I've never seen this movie by myself. I've heard horrible reviews about it. I have kind of wanted to see it for myself because I don't really base my judgment off of other people's reviews anyways. But from what I've seen, it really doesn't look like something that I would want to see. But maybe I will I'll give it a chance because I haven't seen it and I would like to. Just to see a werewolf movie, because it's kind of like I kind of gave up and I just don't give any more werewolf movies a chance. And I think some of you have also suggested, a lot of you have said that Underworld, I think, Rise of the Lycans, or I don't remember, one of those movies, I think it was Underworld, the one with the werewolves, said that was pretty good. And I was just like, really? It looks like the type of movie that I wouldn't like. Like, I don't like Blade. Those futuristic vampire movies are just like, ugh. My style of vampire movie is old school. Like, old school. I'm a huge fan of Dracula, and not the movie Dracula. I didn't like the movie Dracula, and the reason why I didn't like the movie Dracula was because I read the book before I saw the movie. And the book is like 100 times better than the movie. So I went in there already with that mentality, or that experience from the book. And I was just like, it doesn't do it justice. And I just got pissed off by it. And I don't like the Bram Stoker Dracula. I think it's, on its own, without comparing it to the book, it's a pretty decent vampire movie. But knowing how much potential it had already as a book, if they had just translated it, almost, very stuck to a lot of the way that the book was, I think it would have been a really, really good book, or a really good movie. But they changed a lot of stuff. A lot of themes from the book that were really, really important to me, that really made the book a worthwhile reading, where I was just like, oh, that was brilliant. They changed it in the movie, and I was just like, oh. So, I didn't like that movie. But I'm a huge fan of, like, freaking Bela Lugosi, like, that old school vampire, where the vampire hasn't become this freaking crazy monster that you see in movies nowadays, where and I think the first movie that I ever saw, the first vampire movie that I saw that did that, was Lost Boys. Now, I'm not dissing Lost Boys. I think Lost Boys is a pretty cool movie. But, I never really saw it completely because of the freaking vampires. The vampires scared the crap out of me because they looked like freaking monsters. And I don't like that. I don't see vampires that way. I don't see them turning into monsters. I think the closest movie that has ever gotten vampires, like, almost perfectly for me, where I'm just like, oh, that's perfect, is Interview with the Vampire. Interview with the Vampire is, I think, a brilliant vampire movie. And that's the type of vampire that's how I see vampires. Not looking like freaking beasts from outer space, like, and they eat your freaking head off. And I don't see that. Vampires don't eat people. In my book, they suck your blood. So I'm really, really picky when it comes to that, because vampires and werewolves are a huge topic for me that I really, really like, and that I like to write about. But I think because I write about it, and because I have that already, like that set in stone image of what a vampire is and that image of what a werewolf is, it's hard for me to see anything. I just see something and it's like freaking Blade, like a vampire from the future or something like that. Like, you know, it's like, turn it off. I just turn it off. I don't even give it a chance, because it's just like, no. Like, I'm really, 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 really picky about that. What roles do you think Samara and Grunt will play in Mass Effect 3? I think Grunt is going to be a lot more mature, a lot more sure of himself, like more confident of who he is. A little more, I mean, it hasn't been that long since, from Mass Effect 2 to Mass Effect 3, but I think I could see Grunt kind of knowing who he is, a little more, like I said, confident in himself and his abilities and who he is and his past and that type of stuff. So I think it's going to be kind of interesting to see how Grunt is going to be different in Mass Effect 3, because I think he's going to be more of a established Krogan now. And then Samara, I don't know, Samara has always been so confident in who she is and what she does, because she is a Justicar. There's no gray for her. There's no questioning. She's just very strict to what she does, that, I mean, I could see her becoming a love interest, but I don't know how that would work because of her code. I don't know if Samara would really give in to it. But because of the fan hype about Samara being a love interest, maybe BioWare did go that route, but I would personally not want to see Samara as a love interest, as awesome as that would be, because I love Samara. I think she's amazing, but I kind of would want to see her kind of like she was in Mass Effect 2, where you tried to romance her, but she just wouldn't give in. And I loved that. I loved that about her, because it really pronounced her personality, the strength that she has, her dedication to the code. So I hope that Samara stays that way, and not, you know, hopefully BioWare didn't just change the way that she is, or change her personality, or change her dedication to the code just to make her a love interest.